Porn. I wonder when people, when they hear the word porn, what comes to their minds or their little filthy heads. I know they feel about that nice, ooshy, gushy, that Gucci, that good stuff. That you get me. Anyway, welcome everybody to a new stream, or one that I came on the works for some time. As y'all familiar from my 3 previous videos dealing with, incest and porn and all that, that it has gotten very much a lot of views. I take much credit for that, but I noticed that in the minds of people, but we're going to stick on Black people since this is something that is shunned upon, is that we are very much sexual beings. We're very much nasty people, and we just don't know it. No, they said they don't, because we live in very much a conservative society, so they say, with quotations. But nonetheless, we're here. And as you know, this is Porn Talks, first episode. And as you know in the description, as I pull up for myself, 1 second, people. Let me pull up for myself. And as you know, the descriptions of this is follow. Is the legalizing or legal porn only? Should any be banned? Legalized porn, or what we now see, the slowly censoring of certain pornographic websites. And I have my co-host, my partner in crime, the Miss and the beautiful one and only Kai here. Say hello to everybody, Kai.
Hello. Thank you, Chaos. Hello, everybody.
Yes. So Kai, to answer this question from my perspective, and like always, you have articles. If you want to present them, you could, or you want to email it. Anyway, we're gonna do this in response to this legalized or porn, or the so-called censorizing of certain things in porn. I feel porn today, from even in its exception when it started be put out in theaters as a first form of porn. I'm not talking about just the toys, but porn and visual people watch people have sex. It was around the late 1800s, and I think it was done by French people. I had to find that recording. I did a few live streams back a year ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. But the first stages of porn was shown in regards to theaters was back in the end of the 1900s, or I'd say 19th century. As you know, the chronology, from what I can remember, and people could correct during the comment section at the end of this video, is that we know that porn started to become more popularized during the end of the 60s. Particularly, it started when the rules and regulations of just having sex through cinema was no longer a taboo, and they put rules and laws now that is okay now. And this was happening during some parts of, I forgot what country it is, but some parts of Europe. And from there, it started to trickle down here in the West, we call America, and anywhere there's Western influence, it spreads. But as y'all know, porn, from what we have known growing up, understanding it, watching it for ourselves, and everybody has watched porn, whether people want to admit it or not, that this is a white thing. You get me? But there are certain elements of black people in porn. I would say during the 70s, during some parts of the black exploitations, we see little remnants of it. And I think one of the more popular porn stars was I'm trying to remember her name. It was back in the late 80s. And she was very skinny. Do you know her name, Kai? I had to Google it. YouTuber again.
What did what was one of the things about her?
There was one particular sister, and this is like in the late 80s though. She's from New York.
See, I'm not sure of the
I'm
80s.
I'm gonna find it right now. Oh, for those that's watching, please like the video. Why slipped my mind? It's not Viper. I think it's all right.
And she's skinny. Is she popular? Does she do both? Does she do like interracial and?
Well, she did a lot of things because she was the only one, and she was one time signed with Vivid. There was like a lot of black people were in porn, but they were not getting really money like that, or any long-term contracts like that, until she came around the scene. But she looked more ethnically ambiguous, to be honest with you.
All right. So, well, oh, you said skinny though. I'm not sure.
Yeah, she's still skinny. She's still what she.
Not Marie, right?
Are you Marie?
Marie Love? No. Okay.
She's skinny and she's light skinned.
She's black.
She's like she's passing for white a little bit, but we all know she's a sister. She used to dance with Soul Train, TV show.
Soul Train?
Yeah. If anybody, well, no one does know, so I'll find it. Give me a second, people. Let me find it. Matter of fact, it'll come to you. But regardless, she was one of the few back in the 80s and 90s, and that opened the door for a lot more black people to get. Well, they were already in porn, but it made more notorious, especially our women, And then after like the mid 90s, it started to be more. I think right now up to 2000, there was like most of us, we start participating more and having our own production companies in porn. Mm-hmm. But like I said, this is what I can remember. Don't take my word for it. If y'all know the history better, please educate me. You can educate me during the comment, during this stream, or after the stream, because I had to go back and dig up. But the premise of this, that the legalizing of porn, there is problems in it now, because what you know is now, because of the electronic devices, i.e. phone devices, tablets, kids that are under the age of 18 have ways to get access to these websites. And the legal porn aspects, and should it be any banning, is that's very subjective to the consumer. As you know, porn, if I do a quick Google search, how much it makes, how much is porn industries? Let's see what pulls up. Okay. Right now, it said global porn is a $97 billion industries. On to the Kasia Wachowski's assistant professor of sociologist in New Mexico State University at the price between $10 and $12 billion of that comes from the United States. So that's a lot. 12 million annually. And I'm sure this is like back in 2015. We're in 2020. So as you know, that doubles. So if I had to guess, it's probably worth right now, or how much we spent in America, I would say close to 25 billion. And this is just a guess.
Mm,
And this is
it's
a
up
guess,
there.
people. It's up there. And as you know, and I could find some other articles like this one that's like now almost 2 years old.
Yeah, I'm
I
sending
could
you
write.
one right now from well, actually, this is from November, but it's not the economic side like you're looking at. But
Okay, yeah. Just
it's still a
send any. Yeah,
yeah.
yes, please. Yeah. As you do, I'm gonna pull up the first screen share. I'm just gonna. All
Okay.
right.
And maybe I should send one more.
All right. As you know, this one right here. How is the porn industry worth billions of dollars? This is a article that was written now approaching 2 years ago. And you see right here, it shows random digits here. A recent article published by business news site Quartz tends to agree that articles placed in the industry's values at anywhere between 6 billion and 97 billion, with more realistic estimates ranging from 6 billion to 15 billion. Now, mind you, I said it was roughly 25 billion. I was off by an extra 10 billion. And let me turn this off because I might do that. So, and it says here, why is the porn industry worth so much money? Simple. Before I read that, simple because people love sex. We're very much freaky beings, unfortunately. Like I said before, we love that wham bam, gushy, squeezing, sucking, the effing, the nut busting. We love all that stuff. That's why we spend money. Well, mostly white people spend money. I'm not sure about Negroes. Nowadays things are free, and we try to, yeah. Unless we buy things on DVD, which that's obsolete right now. And you could vouch for me for this, Kai. That
Yes.
back in the day, we know people in the street that say, "Hey, I got some latest movies." Say, "What movies?" Yeah, I got that nasty. Oh, let me see. Oh yeah. That one girl with a big butt putting her in her throat. Yeah, let me get that. That type, that good stuff. But let's read why the porn industry is worth so much money. And simply put, the industry is loaded with individual porn business that generate a ton of money. Two of the biggest marketers for business value, according to the Forbes, is recurring revenue and growth. The former speaks of the amount of money of the business makes through automatically recurring contracts or subscriptions, while the latter looks at how fast the business is growing. The porn industry is clock full of porn businesses and receive a lot of recurring revenue and are growing significantly. And see, all right. And how do porn industries make their money? Yeah, that's a good question. How does porn industry make money now in the 21st century? As it says here, the first way of subscription based every month, the customer pays a predetermined amount of money in exchange for access to the product or content the business provides. Think Netflix, but with porn. In order to draw customers in business that use the model, pay other businesses to advertise their product or content. What they mean by that? If you go on Pornhub, one of the famous websites, what do you see? What you notice, Kai?
I haven't been on there, but I read up on it.
Okay.
Are you referring to
Well,
stuttering? The restrictions? Is that what you're referring to?
no, I'm referring to the advertiser where they make their money. So then it's a website, right? So while I show a few clips of sexual acts, what is you notice constantly? Now you say you've been on a while, but
Not
let's go.
Pornhub. I don't go on there. But go
Okay.
ahead.
Let's say any porn sites.
Uh-huh.
What you notice? You notice there is an advertisement, like any website. And what the advertisers show promotes sex toys,
Hmm.
pills, all that stuff. That's what draws in the money. Because every time you watch a video, you'll be bombarded with advertisement. And we all know advertisement funnels and fuels the money that's provided for that website. So as a go for it, the second wave is ad based, and the business offers free content to their customers, but must sell space of their website or application to businesses who desire to advertise their products or content in order to make money. The time and think of YouTube. All right. And it said that the death to porn and how the internet is killing the porn industry, which we're not going to that. But let me stop this. I'll leave that link for y'all to look at. Now, let me go to my Gmail and we'll look at the legalities of things. Hold on. Let me check. And for those that's watching, you could like the stream, share the stream, please. And if you like him, please hit the like. Okay, where is it? Okay. Why didn't it pop up? Let me refresh my. Oh, okay, here it is. The first one is Newsweek. And this one's an important one.
Is that the one I sent you?
Yes, ban porn is a bad idea. There are other ways to improve the internet options.
So this article is written by Brandy Love. So she's not only a reporter for Newsweek, she's also a former porn star herself. She's been nominated 14 times for a. Let me get back to my notes. I remembered most of that. Anyway, she's won awards. 4-time AVN porn winner. I'm not familiar with those abbreviations, but so she has a good perspective on it, being in it herself, having maybe the view, but also discussing pornography as a whole with different people. So I thought that was really interesting because usually the interviewer, you don't expect them to have that type of perspective on things through experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me have a sip of my drink.
And it gets into Pornhub, which follows right in with who you were referring to. I mean, that particular website. So it discusses that, and then the credit cards companies, the major credit card companies, cracking down on money transfers, going through there. So I was a little late find out about that. I heard about it, but I didn't know how. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal.
Let me do a quick Google, see who this Brandy Love is, because I'm not familiar with this woman. Let me do this now. All right. Let me see who this.
Yeah, I had to look her up.
Oh, okay, I see her. Oh, damn. Than age. I know she retired a long time ago. She's 47 years old, about to be 48 in March. So 5'7".
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I think I know who this chick is.
I was gonna say that. Oh, you over there, Owen.
What?
Back memories. You over there? Oh, I hear
No,
you.
listen, people. We talking about sex, so we're gonna keep it very mature. And I tell people, parental discretion is advised. Right. Let y'all know. I have not cussed yet, but there will be cuss words during this live stream, so be anticipating. But like I said, Brandy Love, yeah, this chick, yeah, oh yeah. Let me go down. Chick. Let's go into the article. Right. Around 2020, and some conservatives are still hell bent on banning online porn. Oh no, Mr. Charlie's gonna ban us watching that icky, sticky, nut busting, women busting nuts porn. Really? You know why people in how West we get they make that sound like they about to hyperbole because a lot. If you look at most people nowadays, when they consume some amount of porn, it kind of they engage in the act because I found out, and there's a study right now that people that masturbate or jerk off to this porn when they watch it, they cannot get aroused, which is true. It is true. I heard someone.
Are you saying without it they can't?
Well, without it, because they watch. Remember, it's like wiring in the brain. Now, if you want to counteract, please. I mean, I don't want to be the only one speaking.
Oh no, I just want to be clear. That's all. No, I wouldn't know, to be honest.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I would, but I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't, because that's a guy thing. If that's what you.
Oh, okay. Well, to be honest with you, I don't think this study would be specific in gender. To be honest, but for women, it's a little different because let's say this. when you want to get a nut, if no man's around, what you do? Well, as a lady, y'all know what to do. So I'm not gonna go into that. But like I said,
Some of
it's not
them.
like y'all ladies will sit there, turn on and turn off. The only issue is when you can't get wet, then there's a medical issue. You get me? But
Right.
other than that,
Right.
you'll just let it rip all day. You'll beat that pussy up until you get tired. Until probably you go to sleep, possibly. You know, I saw one chick beat her pussy like hours. She's like gushing like a super soaker, like, and she said, "Thank you, baby." It's like, damn, girl, you bust like 25 nuts. Are you gonna die? Shit, a man just bust one or two nuts and he's already drained out. But women, it's
Mm-hmm.
like you could go on and on and on. It's like that Duracell
True.
battery, go on and on. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's
Anyway,
true. Mm-hmm.
Matt Walsh, a Daily Wire columnist and a culture warrior, adheres everywhere. One wanted states to have a role in regulating adult content. Sarab Arama, opted editor of the New York Post, insists that adult content isn't free speech on the web or anywhere. Newsweek own opinions editors Josh Hammer had limit at first things that today's self-proclaimed liberty-minded conservative vanguard defends what they call lynchiousness by invoking the mantle of freedom or the mantle of freedom. And writers on the other side of today debate on the week's Terry Schillings, executive director of American Principle Project, has spent a good portion of his career discussing his concerns about adult entertainment and more specific access to it. And as everyone is aware by now, I'm constitutionally conservative. I'm a Christian. I'm a occasional communist at the Frida's list whose pieces have been edited and then rejected to being too conservative. I am also a multi-time award-winning Hall of Fame adult entertainer. I am an advocate for adult entertainment. Hmm.
Here we go. Because some of that's a little confusing, but I was like, get to the points.
Yeah, I mean, really, I
'Cause I
mean,
like a
I,
few times. I was like, what? Wait a minute. Who? Let me
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was
But
like,
it's funny, a lot of Christians talking about they're concerned, but a lot of things when I said, when you're in the church, you're doing a lot of effing in the church. I said a lot of sex goes around if you're a
mm,
Christian. We all know back in the church and people that said they're Christian, especially the women, they know they had around and got their backs blown out from either the pastor or whoever in the church. So I think
mm-hmm.
when the archdiocese of Christianity is like, okay, so you're a person that doesn't want to deal with physical contact, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? But so we do things by the Bible. I understand. But also you have to bust it wide open for a nigga too. You know? Shit. We're not
Yeah, not
marrying virgins.
to be. They're not supposed to be. If that's, it's so hypocritical because if we're
Mm-hmm.
going to a congregation and you're telling us how to be, then that's how we're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So we know, like you said, it still does go on. But what's
Mm-hmm.
interesting is a coworker of mine or a place I used to work, she was Baptist and she knew that I was, not engaging in sex. So and she's an older woman and she was like, well, the pastor said we can use sex toys. She was like, so, you could do that. I'm I thought about it and I didn't need to think much, but I just thought about the fact that, okay, so they've had the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and she said, it'd be us women and they're single and stuff. And I was like, oh, all
Okay.
right. But,
Mm-hmm.
personally, I don't, I'm not with the toys. So I was like,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
have to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. Some, I guess, people that were part of the church that does that. Um, it's funny with the toy thing. When it comes to sisters, that's a new phenomenon for the last couple decades because getting in was not an issue with a lot of our sisters. Even back in the 50s, if you remember, a man that wrote a book. I'm trying to remember his name. Kinsley. He wrote on the biology and the structure of men and women when it comes to sex. And when he tried to do a study on the African American woman, Kai, a lot of black women do not want to participate in the study. They didn't even participate so much that they, when they hear about it, they say they were disgusted. Why? Because during that time, during the 50s, a lot of sisters, if they were not sexual abuse or anything like that, then they were not really comfortable talking about sex like that because a lot of black people back then now were very much into the religion. Can we agree?
Yeah.
So when it comes to their own women, sex is nothing. Because when Europeans view sex is more than just a conquer, it's something of a release. It's a fun act.
Mm-hmm.
We today as Americans, especially black people, we take it as more of a fun act more than we did almost actually now roughly almost 7 years ago. Now, because of the religion mindset our people were under, that made us more conservative when we looked at sex to a degree. But as we were integrated more to American social order, the society, that slowly changed because what I've discovered, and this is me, now that you're more integrated into the American social order back in 65, and then the misogyny laws were removed back in 67, you were able to dabble with everybody now. So now you're going to develop more of a habit. You get me? So
Mm-hmm.
that's how it goes. All right,
Okay.
so let's go on. Where am I? Um, create immediate visceral reaction to put us at odds. All right, let's go down. Porn isn't a meaningful evil or municipal evil. While I acknowledge Terry's research and his perspective and the truth, his works is an assault on the Constitutional Bill of Rights. It files in the face of freedom. Those are not positions constitutional conservatives should take. We should always seek to err on the side of liberty. Terry and other cites the massive growth in consumption of online adult content as a negative. On the contrary, I see it as a positive. I see it as a capitalism, the, the free market working perfectly. It is legal products experience a growth trend wherein both consumer and producer benefits. Isn't that what liberty is? I can appreciate the moral position some people take, even though I disagree. But to make a moral, hold on, I just want to make sure I don't lose my footing. Okay, a moral judgment and completely bypass the principles of the free market and freedom seems mistaken. Moreover, if we are all going to be intellectually honest, then there must be agreements on the fact there is as much research that shows adult entertainment has neutral or even positive effects as there is research that shows it has negative effects. Here are but a few examples that show neutral to positive effects. And, side pre effects of pornographic consumption. We'll go into that, but before we go, wait, there's more. Sorry. There's more to the article. I'm sorry, guys. In most instances, those who seek to link pornography to countless ills are ideologically motivated. The aggregate scientific research simply doesn't support such their conclusions. Possibly, people. I say possibly because, like I said, there are consequences when you bust too much nuts, people, both men and women. And what I can remember, to most men, you bust too much nuts, and you don't wait a certain period, especially get older. You're supposed to fact that time something. And I don't have the live little. I think it was some social media live that talk about this. But as you get older, you don't want to be just busting every day now. I know some people say when you bust nuts, man, it prevents your prostate from, swelling up or, you cut the chance of prostate cancer. But I don't know about, I agree with that. I won't disagree. But like I said, like anything you don't want to do constantly, you do things in moderation. Same for women. If a woman busts too much nuts, she's going to not only potentially drain herself, but she's going to mess her function mentally. So these are some of the side effects. You get me? Because the human body is not supposed to be running off constantly. Anyway, let's go down. That said, I am also willing to accept that many of those who are seeing no link between pornographic and culturally unacceptable behaviors may also be ideological motivated. There is a vested interest on both sides. Personally, I can say without shame and what they call evocation that adult entertainment or porn has been positively experienced for me, both professionally and personally. My walks may be unique, but I am doing exactly what I was called to do. And what was that, Mr. Terry? You're called to, have multiple sex with women, have her have these women suck you like the ends of time, or you up here busting sniffing nuts in their face, in their butts, and wherever. I mean, I just don't get it, bro. Anyway, conversely, for Terry, adult entertainment is something he believes is wrong for him. Personally, he believes consumption of adult material would be a stumble block for himself and would dishonor his wonderful wife. Damn, do you married? And your wife still have you have adult entertainment life to have sex with these wonderful non-black or black women? Man, you have a good life, my dude. You got the ring and you're able to get sex without no interruption. Now, mind you, if we know Kai, most dudes that's in the entertainment business, if I check the average, that their wives have to be in the porn industry on the average. Am I right? Wrong?
For a man that's already in the porn industry,
Yeah. If they're married, mostly their wife is in the business. Yeah.
yeah, I would think.
Yeah. I can't really see well, I know. Well, be honest, let me take that back. There might be some that is not in the business that's not married to a porn star. I mean, that's married as porn stars, but I'm not surprised that majority of them that's married, that's in that business, were once porn stars. To be honest with you, because this is a grueling work. As a man, that if you're doing this every scene and you do like an average of 5 or maybe 5 or 10 scenes a month, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it's a business, so they look at it as work.
Once a week, once maybe twice a week. That's really not a
Mm-hmm.
lot. But we don't know what else is going on in their personal life. So like you said,
Mm-hmm.
if you're really looking at the, I don't know what we're gonna call it, ejaculation count, then that would go up. But if they got a laid back personal life,
Mm-hmm.
but and even when they do, that's when you get the drugs that come into the thing, or little devices that are supposed to help with things,
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them work, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I see. I see. I see. And I welcome everybody that's listening in. Thank you. Please like the stream as you come in and share it. This is the first of many broadcasts, so there's more to come. Let's go on. All right, where is this article? Respect and admire that. The question then becomes, what do we do? How do we deal with these? What is the real issue here? I believe we look for common ground and solve what is solvable. Like it or not, adult entertainment is a settled issue. As I wrote in the Federalism or the Federalists, I'm not sure what that is. The Supreme Court has been clear. You are thankful not going to be able to outright abolish adult entertainment, and you're not. And let me tell you why you can't abolish it, because it's not only a business, but it's another form of entertainment. Now, y'all know back in Roman days, how they're able to subvert people and control people. You give them bread, wine, and circus. Circus is what we call entertainment. And since porn was no longer a taboo for the last 52 years, here in the West we call America, and outside America probably the same, depending where you could find it, that it's another form of a weapon. It's another form of entertainment, or I like to call it distraction for the masses. Because you invest so much time buying the porn products. Well, I mean, the sex toys, the dildos, the vibrators, the I guess dick sucker, whatever these things they call. and watch them at the same time, you're very much entertained as a person. So they can't just abolish it because not only they lose money, but they lose that grip of distraction. Let's go on. And the
Mhm.
truth is, much of not all of the indignation surrounding adult entertainment stems from the issues of access. On this, Terry and also agrees we just have to work out our differences over how to solve the issues. A partnership between us on the issues actually makes a lot of sense. We share two common goals: preserving a fair and free market and protecting children online. We believe our current national policy are not doing enough to promote either or those goals. The problem, in my opinion, stems from three-headed monsters. One, Digital Millennial Copyright Act, DMCA, which are you familiar with that?
Am I familiar with it?
Yes.
Um, Not before today. Before I read it, I don't remember really knowing of it.
Okay.
Are you?
No, I never heard of this either. But let's go on. Number two, websites that allow users upload content. Number three, a lack of laws written to actually address the issue. Now, my thing is this: there's not no law today, rather people gonna like it or not, that you're gonna outlaw porn in America or anywhere outside America. Because, like I said, it's all business. It's profit. It's $1 billion business. Roughly pushing almost 20 billion. The only thing you can do as a consumer, you have to protect yourself. But like I said again, people, especially people in America, as much times people want to hear this, are very lazy and complacent, especially when it comes to kids. I always ask a parent, and anybody that's gonna listen to us, if you're a parent, in the comment section or in the chat room, tell me if you have sons or daughters, what are you doing as a parent? Single or a single parent or two parent doing to regulate or prevent the bombardment of pornographic image to your son and daughters? That's a question you should ask yourself. Now, if you're not tech savvy, I advise if you're an adult that have kids and you are over the age of 23, 25, or 26 and older, as an adult parent, and the reason why I said 26 and upper, because the range now in America for a woman to give birth to first child now is roughly 30. But last time I checked the data, it was like roughly 27. So what are you doing as a parent protecting your child? And we're good. And I'm a point the finger on the father too. If you're part of your wife's life, what are you doing to prevent the images of bombard of pornographic image to your son and daughters? I say you're not doing nothing. And let me tell you why you're not doing nothing. Because I find that people are lazy and complacent. Governments regulate a lot of things daily. But one thing they're not going to do is they're not going to be parents to your children. Can we agree?
Yep.
Why I say that is because we live in a capitalist society. Y'all all hear the old notion of what's the saying about capitalists? Don't take this personal. It's just business. And doing business, I had to gain profit and I had to make it and make a product for you to consume. That's the name of the game. Now, ways to prevent this, I will give that during the conclusion of the stream. Let's continue. Under the current rules and compliance with the laws, DMCA platforms from Pornhub, Twitter, Reddit, which is also deal with sexual things. Also, Reddit is very much a racist site from what I'm hearing,
Mhm.
and so forth, either directly or indirectly, profits from pirate content uploads by anonymous users. What do I mean by anonymous users? Most people that post some on Pornhub got a Google address or a credit card, but it doesn't really have their name on it. They will upload, from what I'm hearing now, and I'm not sure you may talk about this, Kai. that I'm hearing that they're uploading scenes of sexual abuse, rape on porn. You know what I'm saying? You get me? This is what I'm
Yeah,
hearing from
yeah,
previous, from another article from Yahoo. And you matter of fact, if I could find an article, did you have the article too? Because I remember they were posting that before I talked to you about this a week ago. That
yeah.
it was on the
Well,
internet.
I have. Okay,
Yeah,
so I gave you. So okay, we went over the Newsweek. That one is the policy change, etc.
yeah.
All right.
That,
So the
that's the
one for
article. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
okay, that one would be actually, well, I could just send. Let me see, send it to you. It's from CNN. I
Mm-hmm.
think a few months back. Let me
Okay.
see. Yeah, I can pull it up.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. All right. As you pull up, let me finish reading. Let me see how long this article's not that long. I'll try to skim through it. Meanwhile, these sites do nothing to prevent underage or underage kids from accessing adult content. Why would they? They aren't required to do so. As a result, any 11-year-old with a smartphone can review hardcore material. How is this possible? Unfortunately, up to this point, the federal government has largely avoided taking on this issue while at the same time provide this same site with immunity from civil liability via statutes known as Section 230. And that seemed like that's a bill. When y'all go through this article yourself, y'all gotta look at that because I'm not gonna go through that. Our policies are failing. It's clear that we need to change them. There are many ways to square this circle and to ensure that kids can't access or upload adult material online. One solution, which Terry and the American Principles Project advocates in favor of, would be to amend Section 230 by making the immunity from civil liabilities merely conditional. Adult tube sites will lose their protection if they fail to prevent kids from uploading or accessing illicit materials, giving victims and parents the right to sue. I am not in favor of that solution for three reasons. First, when you come at industries or a person and say, my solution to the problem we agree on is opening you up to never ending lawsuits, the conversation is over. That is not how you win over friends and influence people. Second, I hear conservatives argue rightly and continually that we need equal applications of the law. This would single but adult tube sites and apply a law unequivocally. Third, it doesn't actually solve the issue. It is penalty, but not a solution. Worsen its short sight and ignores the certain future advances in technology or advances. Instead, I support the implementation of a digital ID system. Mm. Are you aware of this digital ID system, Kai?
digital ID system.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I just sent that over to you.
Okay.
Um, I was in the process of sending that to you. So when it
Mhm.
said digital, what part? What are you
No, I'm not
referring?
sure if you're
Oh,
familiar.
you're referring to the Damn.
No, if you, I'm asking if you heard of a digital ID system.
No.
Okay, so it seemed to me they look like they're doing some iRobot, not iRobot, must have some Eagle Eyes stuff. Now everybody knows if I can guess. Now I'll Google it what that is. But my guess, digital ID system. That means they're looking at a digital footprint of you. That means they want to see the image because things that is written that's more paper based or digital, but also it could be an actual photo what you look like. You know.
Well, yeah. Well, that would go under the verified. So,
Yeah.
Pornhub, will well, actually, that'll come up in the article that I just sent you.
Okay, so let me go.
That's where it comes up with that part. Because
Okay.
now basically they're saying Pornhub doesn't, in defense of Pornhub, there's been someone speaking out saying, well, Pornhub only uses verified accounts. So that's similar to basically what you're referring to somewhat
Okay.
when it comes to digital identity,
Okay.
because there's websites like that I know of that I like to visit. You don't have to be verified,
Okay.
but if you do this, well, this is if you uploading a video, whether it's you or someone else. So
Mhm.
they want to be careful. So they rather you at least verify yourself, and
Mhm.
then it's less accountability just on that website. They can say, hey, this person right here is acknowledging the fact that they are producing uploads, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
So now they're saying though that Pornhub is only going to be using or already was, but apparently they weren't. So now it's supposed to be just be verified accounts only, you know. So
Mhm.
you got to think about the user too. You have to be willing and comfortable to give up your email address and other information. And at the same time, a lot of people aren't going to really be totally honest, because you might still feel like, okay, who else is going to see this? You just want to enjoy some adult time on there.
Mhm.
So, you got to think about that too. But for security reasons, if that's what they have to do,
Mhm.
then that's what they're gonna have to do, because I'll let you get into the article, but they they ended up removing millions of videos to be in compliance without it being child abuse and other indecent behavior such as rape, actual rape, and
Mhm.
victims being sedated. Um, yeah, it's a lot with that. Like I've watched videos where it looked like the woman was sedated, but
Mhm.
I looked at it like fun, like, oh, you acting like you out of it, like, oh, that's different. Like I'm curious if I see something different and it's not bad, and it's or I don't, I guess the way I see it, I'll watch it, and I have, and I kind of thought like, oh, this is different, but
Mhm.
it's not in the article, but it's actually in the video clip. The
Mhm.
man talks about how now they were doing videos, and this is why Pornhub got blown out the frame like this, because they started having videos where the women were so unconscious that the abuser would touch her eyeballs or touch the victim's eyeballs, no response. And they're showing you, look, basically like this is real.
Oh
How else
wow.
am I doing this? So I was just like, wow, the extremity that's going on.
Mm. Interesting. I did not know that. Like, I mean, that's. I mean, we all know what that is. When a man does that, saying he just take advantage of a woman that's out. Like, she probably heavily sedated, drugged up or
Gotta
something.
be something,
Right?
yeah, something,
If you touch
something.
my eyeballs, like you open the eye, just touch it and no response.
Yeah, like
She
who
that
would
that yeah. Go ahead.
oh no, sorry. It takes a special person to even think to do that. Even
Mm-hmm.
if let's just say because people out here be doing it, so
Mm-hmm.
hopefully it's very few, because you shouldn't have to take advantage of somebody anyway. But anyway, you with somebody and say they out of it. Who would think though to be like, how can I really prove this is real? Who really sat there and started masterminding? Let's think of ways to prove that this is real abuse, that
Yeah.
this is, to do that. Like
Yep.
that surprised me too. I was just like, all right, like
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah. That's a lot. That's really a
Mhm.
lot. I mean, yeah, I seen some weird stuff, but to find they do that on, yeah, that's something. Yeah. Let's move on. Digital ID is basically an online version of what all adults have in their wallet. In terms of photo ID, and proposed would be to verify an individual identity on for any platforms that allows users uploads content of any type. It would also be required by any platform or website to offer products or service that are age restricted, such as online gambling, alcohol sales of nicotine, tobacco products, and the consumption of adult entertainment.
Hmm.
Many websites already require age verifications to access service. Why should our children be able to access hardcore adult content, but not be able to place a $5 sports bet on the Chicago Cubs to win the next World Series? Or publicly policies, and this is insane. Yeah. Digital IDs would also be helpful in addressing other problems online, such as cyberbullying, doxing, which doxing is a known trend out here in the YouTube streets and other what do you call it? social media, which is not stuff of
Yeah,
surprise nowadays. I tell people
yeah,
many
yeah.
times, get docs, you get docs, ain't nothing, It comes with a territory. And people were that persistent to find out who the hell you are, what can you do? I mean, I tell people many times, what, don't use the internet no more? I mean, come on. See, if I live in fear, and I tell most women this, if you're gonna be here respectfully, you know. That's the only safeguard I can tell you. Don't try to be like you're a renegade, you're a tough person, all this nonsense. You don't know who the hell you talking behind that laptop, tablet, phone. You know what I'm saying? Hell, you might be dealing with an expert coder or one of them expert position people that like to search people's information. I mean, the technology out here nowadays, so people don't think that it's not hard to find who's who. Anyway, which are fueled by complete what it call anonymity. What to fix our polarized atmosphere? What hateful trolls identify themselves and act like human beings? You heard people talking about they're a troll. I have a YouTube series on that as well. Find it at Cast Rank. Look it up, type it up. It's titled What is a Troll? Volumes 1 and 3. Check it out. As a big tented conservative, and believe me, there are plenty of people in my world who supports President Donald Trump. We should be able to come together and make internet policies better for everyone. We'll never agree or ban porn. That's ridiculous. But if we can work out our differences, it's time we'll move forward and get something done. Brandy Love is a multi award winning Hall of Fame adult entertainer residing in Wrigleyville, California. Wrigley. And that is the end of this article. This will be in the description as I stop. And now I'm going to find the next article. All right. Let me refresh my page. Actually, let me check my phone. Anything you want to say from what has been read for your summary, if possible?
Oh, shout out to everyone that joined us too and
Mm-hmm.
that will watch. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what was I gonna do? Not do, but say. Okay, so bottom line too from the article, thought it was a decent article regarding banning of porn, um, um, and changes going on with it. So
Mm-hmm.
some things I took from it is the the goal is to still be able to preserve freedom as being adult and enjoying adult entertainment, like
Mm-hmm.
Chaos Rain said, a lot of us do, including myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but also protecting children, of course, online, and that's where it gets difficult. Like you mentioned before we had other means of media, so we could always hide it, or things like that. So now that it's just, everywhere and on phones, et cetera, it's difficult. So just one quick thing of referring to Section 230. 230 is basically, it lessens the liability on anyone. And that's where children and victims become more vulnerable. So
Mm-hmm.
in the article, they basically was saying too, it needs to be amended. Some things we have are okay, but let's amend them to make them better. And the author also kind of said it, or one of the authors said it the way you did, like, we can't be lazy with this. And he says, when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to children, we are falling short, and we have been for a long time. So, we're not even going to sit here and pretend.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just important because with an amendment of it, excuse me, it will grant it will not grant that immunity from civil liability. Therefore, the parents would have more leverage to sue. So they'll be able to sue, if, of course, they're involved in, something, things to do with that, with their child and pornography.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. All right. So I'm gonna run this audio. Let me pause it. Okay. I could probably if you could tell him Kai, tell him fair use. If you could say I'm fair use, 'cause I'm not gonna be saying fair use. Tell him.
Oh, okay. We're using
Just,
this
just,
audio according to
just,
the
just say fair use. This audio is gonna be and fair use, fair use. Say fair use.
for fair use.
Yeah, yeah. Fair use.
but everybody watching this should read it because it is excellent. In your article, you write, the world has often been oblivious to child sexual abuse, from the Catholic Church to the Boy Scouts. Too late, we prosecute individuals like Jeffrey Epstein or R. Kelly, but we should also stand up to corporations that systemically or systematically exploit children. With Pornhub, we have Jeffrey Epstein times 1,000. And talk us through what you unveiled in this investigation, sir.
Sure. Well, Becky, first of all, I don't think many people realize just how big a company Pornhub and the holding company that owns it, MindGeek, how big they are. Pornhub has more visitors than Netflix. It's one of the 10 most visited sites in the world, more visitors than Amazon. And, let's be clear that most of the pornography on this site does involve consenting adults.
You hear that? This thing has more clickbait than Netflix. And it should be, because, like I said, most human beings love that ushy, gushy, nut busting and mouth, butt, titties, whatever. Girls busting nuts all over. They love that freaky shit. That's why.
It's on the top 10. Porn sites are on the top 10 of any site.
Okay.
Of all sites. That speaks a lot. Okay.
You know, since I mentioned Pornhub early in the stream, I thought it was like the top porn site right now in the internet right now. I could be wrong. But I'm not sure we have the numbers of which site is the top. Is there any way that you did any digging on that?
No, but I would agree. I believe from when I was searching most recently, it was Pornhub. But you have to take into consideration what's going on right now. Pornhub had it said 13.5 million videos. Now it only has just under 3 million videos. So that was more than half. That was what, 70, 80, maybe percent? That's a high percentage of videos that had to be deleted, removed, because Pornhub is not comfortable now, which was the help with the New York Times reporter, like they mentioned, blowing the lid off of things where there was just too much blatant and obvious abuse. So because of that, now they're under scrutiny. That's going to turn a lot of people off, or you would think. There's other websites you could use while they figuring out what they need to do. But in the meantime, so much is gone that I would think a ton of that was verifiable, was legal, in fact, but now it's gone, and it's totally gone. So that's something to think about too. And sometimes we have our favorites. Like, I know I have my little favorites. If I can't come back and watch what I want to watch, I'm not coming there then. I'm going to go somewhere else and hope that I can find that duplicate somewhere else. I can still go there and just daddle with the other stuff. But when I'm looking for something, I'm looking for that. And now it's because, they got scared. That's what it seems like. You only have under 3 million and you had almost 14 million. You got 13.5 million. And that's all the videos you have left now. That's a lot.
But it seems to me how they're able to wash and scrub out their site in under a few weeks. Because when the article came out about that was like 3 weeks ago, Kai. And this is at the end of December when this article came out about the they had to look into investigation of credit card identification, all this stuff. That they have removed. Cause let me see what the percentage. Let me see if I get my calculator. Sorry, people. I got the numbers. Talk for a minute. I gotta see how much that is a decrease.
Yeah, I was thinking about the dates in there too, but I didn't know how far
13 million.
I didn't know how far back this went. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we gotta assume that it's been under investigation for a little while already.
All right. And they lost, and it's right now 13 million videos and now down to 3 million, right?
Right.
All right. So 13 million. Let me see how to mathly equate this. 13 million.
Which I know some people are like, that's still a lot. It's like, yeah, but look how much is gone. Like it's different.
Oh, I guess. So they remove on the average because 13 million subtracted by 10. That's like 10 million videos gone. And those 10 million videos that were, I guess, made it through the process, they had to remove because of the suspicions. because they
Right.
couldn't identify they didn't know what the video is, but they can't identify where it came from or really what's the intent of the video.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the average, 13 slash and only 3 million, that's like upwards of over 70%.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's gas people, mind you. I'm just going off the head. I'm not sure if I got the math equation, but that to me that looked like that's roughly 30. Yeah, that is like 7% right there.
Mm-hmm.
And all that because of an allegation and certain things where the government had to step in, especially the credit bureaus, to check because now it's money. They gotta check where the money's coming from because I know they filed it, but now they gotta check where are you really making
not just where the money's coming from or going. That part is taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
It's like MasterCard. We want to know who this customer is.
Mm-hmm.
MasterCard got to get involved. MasterCard is huge.
Oh yeah.
MasterCard, like, all right, this is a lot of allegations. Stuff got to build up. Now, if it was just a consumer, that's still a serious claim. And it must be damn serious if the FBI, and all of us got to get involved and come to you, the credit card company. So I believe it's been a lot. And it's MasterCard, like they said, Visa, and what was the other one? Well, the other one that we said, Visa, MasterCard, whatever the other one was. And Discover. So that, and also I want to mention quick, there's something with Bitcoin. I know there's a lot of up and down, and that's how investing goes. But there's something that's been linked similar to sex trafficking, possibly. So there's people that are going on islands and stuff that they've been doing probably for decades, but they're trying to cover the money and they're using other ways to do it. So there's something up with that, and I know they're gonna be digging in that hard. But the Pornhub situation, that's big. I mean, it got serious. And then you got to imagine, though, it must have been a lot on there, because from what they're saying, like you said, they cleaned that quick. It does seem quick. But as they went and cleaned, they said it was a lot in there.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, it's scary because I know they lost a lot of footage that could have stayed. But at the same time, it's scary that when they really did what they were supposed to have been doing all along, they found a lot. And of course, it has to go.
Yeah.
And it's for people that like us or other people that just want to enjoy. That's honestly the reason, like from the beginning, you asked me about Pornhub and I was like, I can't answer. I haven't been on there or in a very long time. Because the last time I was on there, they had like a dog and a woman on there, and it tends to always be white people, to be honest. I was like, no, I don't want to click on that. And it was an ad, but then it looked almost like a toddler, was a little white girl laying on the floor next to a white man, and she didn't have nothing on. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it kept saying red tube or red. It was something. And I was like, I'm going to try to remember that. And I'm not going to come on the site. And I came on and I was like, if I see it again, this is something though that needs to be reported, but then I felt funny about it. I said, no, if I do have to go to the police, I'm a grown woman. I can be honest and tell you I'm on here because I'm an adult, but this right here, do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some bullshit, but it stopped coming up. After a while, I finally stopped. I was like, good, it stopped. And I never saw it again. And then when I talked to a couple of guys in the past, just in conversation and talking a little bit about porn, and they'd be like, yeah, Pornhub this, Pornhub that. And I'm like, y'all be going on there? Oh, it seems like that site's been hacked. So I never touched it.
Yeah. Well, my thing is this. To be fair and honest with a lot of people, you got to understand that the people that run Pornhub is non-black people, European people, descents run that site. And because the country we live in, whether we call it conservative or not, that it expresses and exudes their twisted sexual fantasies overall. And the beautiful thing about the internet is a blessing and a curse. You see all that behavior degeneracy be displayed in regards to porn. So when you see about sexual abuse from adults to young people, it's real. That's why with the credit card thing, and to be honest with you, this was a long time coming, to be fair, because with the internet now, most people that said do quote unquote porn and uploads, they put whatever and anything on the website. And they feel that if it's not being reported or there's no one to have a problem with, it's given the green light to say, well, I guess I could put anything and no one's going to say nothing. No one's going to pay attention, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee if you find something like that in a video existing, right? Like let's say on Pornhub, you always got to pay attention. How many views this video got? And if it's getting views by the millions, do the math.
Right.
You that's watching it. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you got to base things. But how many views this one particular video, which what you view, are people watching? Oh, it's got like 2.5 million hits. So it tells me, and mind you, not only you see the views, there are comments, Kai. And you see where the people that either have an avatar or not, you see where their twisted minds are at. See that?
Mm.
So it tells you that it becomes pretty much deplorable, disgusting after a while, you know. But like I said, this is basically Eurocentric culture, so at its best, at its finest. So, well, let me continue playing the audio.
It's a minority of the videos that are problematic, but a minority of millions and millions of videos is deeply problematic. And you know, I saw this isn't about porn. This is about rape and about sexual abuse of children. And on that site, there are videos of unconscious women whose rapists touch their eyeballs to show that they are completely unresponsive as they're being assaulted. There are videos of young children. One of the people I spoke to was a girl who at 14 years old had her life completely disrupted when naked videos of her were put on Pornhub, and she was an A student. She ended up leaving full, self-medicating, attempting suicide twice. You know, this is something that large corporations should not be able to get away with.
Okay. There you have it. Yeah. That's sad. That's very sad. Yeah. Yeah. So there we have it. But like I said, that's Eurocentric people for you. That's their thing. And normally and this is my thing, Pornhub has been around, if I do the date when it's been around as a website, and let me check the history of this. Hold on. And normally I don't want to just mention porn because it's only one of many websites that exists out in the internet space in regards to sexual performance, pornographic images, sex, Pornhub. They call it. Let's see if there's a history. Maybe I should go to Wikipedia. Probably find a better result. All right, Wikipedia. All right. What's this? Oh, damn. Donald Trump is the first president in U.S. history that has been been impeached twice. Wow.
Oh, you didn't know that happened today?
No, yeah, but I'll leave that for another this conversation. I'm not really focused, but I just saw that and I did not know that. Oh well, you know, well that's not the basics. Let me clip this here. Oh,
remember to subscribe, Chaos Rain channel. Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe.
Brave one, obviously.
Yeah. I'm getting up brownie points for this. All right. Okay. Let me see if it pulls up. Okay. Yeah, I might as well share this. This is the Wikipedia historical backgrounds of this site. As you can tell, this is based in Canada. Anybody surprised at that? Nope. Isn't there a lot of French people in Canada? Remember, the French are very
Mm-hmm.
much comfortable with sexuality. Hope y'all know. If y'all say the history of the French, they don't mind sexuality, especially when it's boy on boy, girl on girl, etc. They do all the freaks. Hell, the French kiss was a custom. It's a thing that we indulge today. It was developed by the French. You know, they're very much sexual beings. They say we, you know, engage in all nice things. You know, so sex is nothing tonight. Okay, this site was launched in 2007. So the site is now going to be turning 14 years old. I thought it was older than that, but 2007, that sounds like the right ballpark. 'Cause remember, the internet started to really pick up more steam in the mid 2000s. You know, so a lot of people were,
Mm-hmm.
and mind you, that same time, the first online purchase was back in 2005. Now, 16 years ago. Imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, after people start make use of the internet to purchase and do things of goods, this site was created 2 years later. And it was by CEOs Fres Atun and David Tassilo. Yeah. And there's URL for it. It has many languages, mostly Eurocentric language from Spanish, Portuguese, Dutch, and some Japanese. I'm not sure if Luzon, Cyprus. I think that's still in Canada. It says here, city southern coast of Cyprus, capital district, large urban area of Nicosia is an urban population. Okay. Oh, the Republic of Cyprus. Okay, it's a Mediterranean place, so that's where the headquarters is now. So, so as you know, the history, y'all can look it up yourself. Normally, y'all can find that for yourself. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna put that in the description. Y'all can find that for yourself. All right. Now, normally I will place a link, but the rules with the link now for those who want to come in and indulge in this conversation. I would prefer if there's a woman that's present, come up and share your thoughts and opinions. We'll probably will drill your head a bit in good faith. You know, it's not me alone. I have Coy here to back me up. So for ladies that want to engage in the conversation, you may come up. For the fellas, right now, I'm probably gonna keep it right now somewhat for women for the time being. For now, and for the sake why I will do this is because I want it because we're talking about sex, and most people besides dudes that consume it. I know a lot of women like to consume it as well, but they very much don't want to talk about it. They want to be concerned. But ladies, be open. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with you. If you like playing with toys, I ain't gonna question you. I'm not gonna be against you, But let know saying we're gonna have a very much nice dialogue, like I say. So I will put the link for
Open
that.
minded.
Yes, open mind. Thank you.
Trying to be judgment free, so
Yeah.
that's what's probably held people back this long. So
Yeah. And for those, and like I said, if you ladies have been listening and watching, matter of fact, I should type in ladies only, but you get the point. But besides that, I'm not sure if you want to tell the people the first time that's listened to you a little bit about yourself while people are waiting. Okay.
About myself?
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit.
All right. I guess I'll start saying I'm fairly new somewhat with YouTube, just kind of feeling my way around. I have different interests. They vary. They might seem to be all over the place, but I guess that's just me. I'm kind of into a lot of different things. And the more curious I am about it, the more I dig into it and research it. Lots been going on lately, as everyone knows, too. So it's cool being a part of a conversation like this. I think it could bring, a little extra entertainment. We all could use that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we deserve it, if you into it. And, hopefully some of you will join us. I could see, people, coming in and joining sometime. And if not this time, maybe the next time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me look for the chat room for people that post anything. My uncle got out of jail after 7 years. I let him use my girl for a good time. He says he was going to pay me $350 for a fuel money. Nah, he do me wrong. He load in her back then what do you call it? High hike, no coins. And that's what I say. Yeah,
What?
yeah. Nah,
Yeah,
but
that is
he do
that's
me
weird.
wrong. He low in her back, then high hike, no coins. I guess he said that his girlfriend and his uncle, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he let
In other words, to be blunt, he let
him.
his own girlfriend be a cum duster to his uncle, you know, and he sit there and blow that back and he, and nut it all over her back. I guess that's what he's saying. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
weird. Don't you find that weird?
Yeah, I was like, I just said we wasn't gonna
Yeah, yeah,
we started to be open minded, y'all, but that was different.
very different. I mean, I tell you, I find some interesting comments nowadays, but I respect people, their opinions.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna have no shame
Yeah.
in this, but no shame at all. But like always, I am Chaos Rain, people. As I have done a few videos on this. And this is gonna be one of a series in itself, I think it's gonna get even better. At times we haven't gotten raw like I wanted to. It will eventually will get rawer as we go further. And the timetables when we will go live, if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the top notification. You'll know when there's gonna be a next episode of this. We're gonna go through 3 more subjects on this, and after 3 more subjects, we'll come up with something totally different. More other subjects, but we're just gonna cover some of the basics now, and this will be some good content for a few episodes. The one thing I want people to get out of this is not only gonna get some entertainment, more like it's like a people's blog. I label it. I might put it as entertaining depending on how I feel. But nonetheless, you're gonna get some learning, some little experience, on me.
Right.
This
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
sex. But go ahead. You want to say something?
No, I was like, I agree, yeah. Learned something. So we both just exchanged
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
information. Yeah.
And like always, if y'all guys have any stories of your sexual experience, fantasy, be so kind to put in the comment section. And hell, if it sounds juicy, I might just try to get in contact. We'll just chop it up. We're gonna make this interesting, people. That's all I'm gonna say. But I see that no one is willing to come up, so we will probably conclude it here. Any final thoughts? Final words. Okay.
No, I'm closing out. My name is Kai NY 007.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for tuning in. Um, something I could say in closing that might be kind of interesting. I think each time too, I'm gonna end saying, "Don't porn shame me."
I
Don't
mean,
porn shame
I don't
me.
think, I don't
Say it
think
like that at the end.
what's funny about
No.
people that shaming people that even deals with the porn. Um, I find that very interesting. That we grown people nowadays. I mean, I know that
We
certain channels
are,
talk
but
about sex,
as grown as we are, do you see the nonsense that
but
goes on? But this is more sensitive, so maybe people will deal with it differently. I mean, regardless, I don't care. I live my truth.
mhm,
So, if you do that, you just take it out,
yeah,
whatever. But what I was gonna say was we left when we closed out, and that was good, and we wrapped it up with the last one. Now
mhm,
they were making a point about getting rid of the rape porn, etc. And,
mhm,
of course, any other abuse, and they need to add animal abuse. But anyway, hopefully that was
mhm,
already included. Um, so all right, my point is this. I think that there's some people are acting, and I'm not big on the acting. I kind of just want to see the action. But
mhm,
what I have found intriguing for me personally has been rape porn.
mhm,
But that's it's got to be different than what they're talking about because they're saying, you know what I'm saying? This is serious, like this really happened.
mhm,
So that's again another thing that now that's blown out of proportion and been misused because you abused people when there's somebody like me that kind of think that that is kind of kinky that it's kind of cool to me. But now y'all done took it on a whole nother level to where, you made it really, it seemed like that, I don't know, you demonizing now it's gone. Now our other area is going to fall suit to it. Do you think it's just a matter of time, or do you think, no, it was just Pornhub? So I don't know if anyone's bold enough to answer that too in the comments or whatever. I don't know. Answer how you feel.
Yeah, but like I said, I give people time to really go back to this. Look through the articles, which will be in the description. My closing saying is this: that for those people that are engaged in sexual activity, please protect yourself at all costs. I will promote for those who don't like to promote for most of the dudes. You're going to have to wear that Jimmy, wear that condom, my dudes. Do not sit there and enjoy nice raw sex and be bust nuts and chicks. The pregnancy rate of the community is very high. So if you as a man that you feel you don't want to unwillingly knock up certain women that you feel you're not going to deal with long term or even get married, then that's on you, fellas. You know what I'm saying? I just tell you, just protect yourself. Protect that seed, that glowing seed. You know what I'm saying? Don't just let it spill into any unknown entities. Don't let it spill to women that you feel that is nice and sexy and you want to just have a nice fun time and you want to bust those nuts, and then the nuts will come back to haunt you for 20 years. And what I mean by 20 years, I mean you might be paying the child support for 20 years, not 18 years, because her certain states it's extended. So if you don't feel you're not ready to deal with that task, then always jimmy up. And for the ladies, if you feel that you don't want no children, you know what to do. I'm not tell you what to do. I'm not going to go into that. And that's all I'm gonna say. So thank everybody for listening to tonight's stream. Catch us on the next fly. And like always, this is Porn Talk.
Don't porn shame me. Peace.
Yes, peace.